disclaimer. As with the previous installment in this series, each movie feeds into the other, so there will not be major spoilers for this film. However, to talk about the plot at all require spoilers of the first two films. So, if you have not seen Fear Street Part 1 or Part 2 yet, this is your warning. If you haven't seen them yet or you just don't care, there's going to be spoilers for Parts 1 and Part 2, but not for Part 3. Alright. That being said, so, we go from Scream, right? We started Scream, we go back to Halloween, and then we go to The Witch, with a little bit of The Crucible, and then back to Scream. I can dig it. Hi everyone. Again, it's me, Grant the Movie and TV Guy. Hello, and we are back with the trilogy capper, ladies and gentlemen. The final installment. It's been a crazy ride, and that is Fear Street Part 3, 1666. Fear Street Part 3, 1666 is directed by Leah Janiak, whose previous films are Fear Street Part 1 and Fear Street Part 2. The gang's all back, often playing multiple characters in this installment. Where we last left our intrepid young heroine, Dina, she was going to return the skeletal hand of Sarah Fear back to her resting place, but in the process, she's transported back to 1666, when Sarah Fear was falsely accused of witchcraft. And she becomes Sarah Fear. She falls in love with a young woman played by the same actress who plays Sam. But of course, being the intolerant time it is, it leads to prejudice. But it turns out this film does not focus on that plot alone. It's actually, what they don't tell you is it's two films kind of in one. So the first half is that story, and she finds out the dark truth about Sarah Fear. The second half is part 2 of 1994. We return to 1994 for a final showdown against the villain that's been plaguing Shadyside. Will she break the curse? With a little help from Miss Berman and her younger brother, and maybe some other friends? Well, gonna have to watch to find out. I'm gonna come right out and say this. This is probably the best of the three. And I've pretty much loved all three of these movies. This was a great trilogy. I really loved Fear Street. I think this was an amazing experience. I love these characters. I love the fact that it's not only scary, but it doesn't pull punches. It's gory. It's a slasher movie. It doesn't take the fact that it's an R.L. Stine book as an excuse to Black Christmas 2019 it. It really takes a story. It has a great love story that spans generations, and once you get to part 3, this movie really cannot exist without the first two, because once you see what's really going on, and once it all comes together, it ties up so perfectly that it needed to be 3 movies, and you kind of, at first with the first two, especially the second one, you're kind of like, does this need to be 3 movies? It did. When you get to part 3, it all comes together. All the things that were set up in part 1 and part 2 are resolved and given reason for, so that you fully feel like you've had a full meal. This is a great film. The big bad of the climax is not who you expect. It's a very nice surprise. It's a really good movie. Gillian Jacobs really shines in this movie in her supporting role as C. Berman. She didn't really have much to do the first 2 films, but now she's kind of has a bigger part. She's great. I really liked the actress who played Dina. I thought she was a great lead. I liked Sam. I liked all these characters. And I liked the idea of avenging the dead. The idea that throughout the history of this town from 1666 onward, the curse that has been on this town, the curse, has taken so many young lives who we've come to know over these 3 movies, and it's about honoring those who have fallen. I'm not how much more to say, you guys. I love this film. But I'm going to give it probably the same score I gave the first 2. So, Fear Street Part 3, 1666, gets 4.5 out of 5 stars. Which means that the series total is 4.5 stars for the Fear Street trilogy. This is a great trilogy of films that kind of leaves the door open for maybe a part 4. I hope so. I hope we get more of these films. I like these characters. Alright. Or even if it's a new character, just this mythology I really like a lot. Alright. Let's close the book on it. 4.5 stars for Fear Street Part 3 and the whole trilogy. Trailer Trash None, watch it on Netflix. Was there trauma? Yes, there was. There's a nice little bit, kind of collection of scenes during the credits that seem to set up a possible fourth film. Let's hope so. Alright, and that's it. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow for Roadrunner, a film by Anthony Bourdain, as well as Die in a Gunfight reviews. Then we're going to do Never Have I Ever, and then we'll be back Thursday for Snake Eyes. Friday is I'm checking out M. Night Shyamalan's new film, Old, as well as other reviews, I'm sure, and maybe Solo, Star Wars Story, and maybe Good Burger. That'll all be next time, and until next time, Grant the Movie and TV Guy, see it all, and I'm happy to share it with you. And what a ride. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Class dismissed. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. Thank you, Fear Street. What a ride. Thank you all. And thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye. See you later.